You probably felt incredibly proud of yourself this morning. You threw away that toxic white table sugar, and instead you reached for that glowing golden bottle of agave nectar, or maybe a fancy organic diet syrup labeled 100% natural. You drizzled it into your green smoothie, thinking you were making the ultimate healthy choice, but the terrifying truth is, you are not dieting. Right at this very moment, you just injected a concentrated biological toxin directly into your liver. I know that sounds extreme, but today I am going to expose exactly how this so-called healthy diet sugar is actively, molecularly rewiring your body. It is silently creating a massive army of zombie fat cells deep inside your liver, and the billion-dollar food industry is desperately trying to hide this from you. They refuse to tell you that the very thing you use to get healthy is the exact mechanism keeping you sick. Let us break down the biological disguise that tricked you. For decades, we have been told that as long as a sweetener does not spike your blood sugar, it is safe. This is the ultimate trap. When you consume regular carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose. Glucose is the currency of life. Every single cell in your body, from your brain to your muscles, uses glucose for energy. When glucose enters your system, your body has a brilliant physiological barrier. It is an enzyme called phosphorufructokinase. Think of this enzyme as a strict traffic cop. When your cells have enough energy, this cop raises his hand and says, "Stop, we are full." The energy intake is strictly regulated by this biochemical reaction. But here's the cruel truth about the fructose hiding in your healthy syrups. Fructose is completely invisible to that traffic cop. It bypasses your body's natural physiological barrier entirely. This is not a folk myth. This is a biochemical reaction at the cellular level. When you drink that healthy smoothie sweetened with agave, which is sometimes up to 90% pure fructose, your muscles cannot use it. Your brain cannot use it. Only one organ in your entire body is equipped to metabolize this specific molecule, and that is your liver. So instead of being distributed safely throughout your body like glucose, 100% of that massive fructose payload crashes directly into your liver all at once. Imagine a small, quiet processing plant suddenly receiving 1,000 delivery trucks at the exact same second. That is the molecular hijack happening inside you right now. I used to be blindly trapped in this cycle too. I would meticulously track my calories, avoid regular sugar like the plague, and spend premium money on these natural alternatives, only to feel constantly exhausted and inflamed. The billion-dollar diet industry feeds on this blind faith. They slap the word natural on a bottle, knowing exactly how this molecular infiltration works, and they watch as we slowly destroy our metabolic health. But it gets even crazier. Because your liver is under a sudden, massive assault from this unregulated fructose, it goes into a state of sheer biological panic. Without the traffic cop to stop the flow, the liver has no choice but to initiate an emergency protocol. This is where the nightmare truly begins, and it is a process known in molecular biology as de novo lipogenesis. In simple terms, this means making new fat out of nowhere. Your liver, overwhelmed and desperate, takes all that excess fructose and forcibly converts it to visceral fat. But this is not the normal subcutaneous fat that sits under your skin. This is visceral fat being packed directly inside your liver cells and wrapping around your internal organs. And the most insane part? These newly created fat droplets do not just sit there passively. They undergo a terrifying transformation into what scientists call senescent cells. Yes, zombie fat cells. These are cells that are biologically damaged, but they refuse to die. They sit deep inside your liver, completely ignoring the normal cellular life cycle. Instead of functioning or dying off like normal cells, these zombie fat cells become active endocrine tumors. They continuously secrete highly inflammatory cytokines, pumping silent toxins directly into your bloodstream 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is the dark secret behind why so many people today are developing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, even if they are completely skinny. Do not drink a drop of alcohol and eat what they think is a flawless diet. You cannot outrun this with a treadmill. You cannot starve these zombie cells away with conventional calorie counting. They are actively rewriting your internal communication system, jamming the signals that tell your body how to burn energy. Every time you consume these highly concentrated liquid diet sugars, you're effectively feeding this zombie army. The biological tragedy here is that the very labels promising health and vitality are the ones initiating this cellular decay. People are blindly replacing one evil with a much more sophisticated, stealthy assassin. They proudly avoid a candy bar, but then consume double the metabolic load of fructose through a single organic health drink. The liver cannot tell the difference between the fancy marketing label and the molecular reality of the compound hitting its cells. To your liver, a massive hit of liquid fructose is processed almost identically to a massive hit of ethanol from hard liquor. That is right. The biochemical pathway your body uses to break down these healthy diet sugars is strikingly similar to how it metabolizes pure alcohol. Both bypass the systemic circulation, both overwhelm the liver, and both lead to de novo lipogenesis and chronic localized inflammation. Society would never accept giving a child a shot of vodka, while we enthusiastically hand them a bottle of artificially concentrated fruit syrup. How exactly do these zombie fat cells make you fatter the more you diet? This is where the trap snaps shut and the ruthless truth of the diet industry is exposed. The zombie fat cells in your liver do not just sit there taking up space. They actively suffocate your insulin receptors. Let us look at the molecular level. Every time you eat a meal, your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin acts like a key, trying to unlock your cells to let energy in. But because your liver and your surrounding organs are now packed with this toxic fructose-induced visceral fat, your cells become completely deaf to the insulin signal. This is a biochemical reaction known as insulin resistance, and it is silently destroying your metabolic health. Your body is screaming for energy. The insulin is frantically knocking on the cellular door, but the door is welded shut by the profound inflammation caused by those zombie cells. So what happens next? Your brain goes into a panic because it thinks you are starving. You feel physically exhausted. Your metabolism grinds to a halt to conserve energy. You begin to violently crave more sugar. The billion-dollar diet industry knows exactly how this works. They deliberately trap you in a vicious cycle, making you crave the exact poison that is slowly destroying you. You buy more of their healthy syrups, their organic energy bars, and their natural diet drinks, blind to the fact that you are just throwing gasoline on a metabolic fire. Many people experience what is essentially a diet placebo effect. You drink the green smoothie heavily sweetened with agave, you feel a temporary rush of psychological superiority, and you truly believe you are healing your body. But internally, your liver is drowning, and your cells are suffocating. But it does not stop there. The clinical research is crystal clear on this. These senescent cells, these zombie fat cells, begin to spread their toxic influence to neighboring healthy cells. It is a chain reaction. They secrete chemical signals that corrupt the cellular communication of the healthy tissue around them, turning your entire metabolic system into a chaotic mess. You are effectively aging your internal organs at an accelerated rate, forcing your biological clock to tick faster and faster, all while believing you are meticulously following a healthy lifestyle. You are fighting a war against your own biology, and as long as you keep consuming concentrated liquid fructose, you are arming the enemy. Here is the craziest part. You cannot exercise this specific problem away. You can run 10 miles a day, but if you come home and refuel with a massive hit of diet fructose, the molecular hijack inside your liver continues immediately. The liver prioritizes the toxic threat of the fructose over everything else. So how do we stop this molecular betrayal? How do we destroy an army of zombie fat cells that absolutely refuse to die through normal starvation or exercise? The answer is not another expensive supplement, and it is certainly not another fad diet. The answer lies in activating your body's ultimate biological garbage disposal. It is a biological miracle called autophagy. Autophagy is the absolute gold standard of cellular healing. It is the physiological barrier against rapid aging and chronic metabolic disease. In other words, it is your body's built-in reset button. Imagine a microscopic, highly trained cleaning crew suddenly waking up inside your liver. When you completely cut off the supply of this toxic liquid fructose, and you allow your insulin levels to naturally drop and stay low, you trigger a massive biological awakening. Your body, realizing it is finally no longer under chemical assault, shifts from a desperate storage mode into a deep, regenerative cleaning mode. The healthy cells in your immune system start hunting down the zombie fat cells. They break them apart, recycle their useful proteins, and flush the inflammatory toxins completely out of your system. It is a literal cellular resurrection. You are actively reversing the damage at a molecular level, clearing out the cellular debris that has been slowing down your metabolism for years. This is not some trendy biohacking trick. This is a foundational biochemical reaction forged by millions of years of human evolution. When you stop poisoning the liver with concentrated liquid fructose, your liver cells finally get a chance to breathe, to repair, and to regenerate. Your insulin receptors become sensitive again. The doors unlock. Energy flows back into your cells, and the constant agonizing hunger finally disappears. You stop fighting your body, and you start letting it heal itself. But to activate this gold standard of healing, you must fiercely understand the difference between poison and medicine. You might be asking right now, what about regular fruit? Fruit contains fructose, right? Yes, it does. But nature is incredibly smart, and it packages the fructose in whole fruit with a highly complex matrix of dense fiber, vitamins, and trapped water. When you eat a whole apple, that intact fiber acts as a robust physical and physiological barrier in your digestive tract. It dramatically slows down the absorption of the sugars. The fructose is released into your bloodstream drop by drop, very slowly, giving your liver plenty of time to process it safely and efficiently. There is no sudden overload. There is no panic. There is no de novo lipogenesis. But when the food industry steps in, they destroy this perfection. They strip away that protective fiber, they boil it down, they concentrate the sugars, and they weaponize it into syrups and nectars. They turn a natural food into a concentrated metabolic bomb, and they sell it to you at a premium price. Let us dive deeper into the exact timeline of this biological reset. What happens to your body the moment you stop consuming these toxic diet sugars? Within the first 24 hours, the massive influx of concentrated fructose completely halts. Your liver, which has been trapped in a constant state of chemical emergency, finally stops the de novo lipogenesis pathway. The fat-producing factory shuts down. By day 3, a profound biochemical reaction begins. Because there is no longer a constant drip of liquid sugar flooding your system, your circulating insulin levels finally begin to drop and stabilize. This is the exact moment the biological miracle happens. Your body senses the metabolic shift and officially triggers autophagy. The microscopic cleaning crews are deployed deep inside your tissue. They start scanning your liver for those senescent cells, those zombie fat cells that have been poisoning your bloodstream. They surround them, break down their damaged structures, and literally digest the toxic debris. By the end of the first week, the inflammation markers in your blood start to plummet. The silent cytokine storm quiets down. Your cells, which were previously deaf to insulin, suddenly start to hear the signal again. The insulin receptors on your cell membranes are rebuilt and sensitized. The first time in years, the energy you consume from real whole foods actually enters your cells instead of being locked away as visceral fat. You will feel a sudden, intense surge of mental clarity. The brain fog lifts because your neural pathways are no longer suffocating under systemic inflammation. Your energy levels stabilize. You stop experiencing those violent, uncontrollable sugar cravings every afternoon because your body is finally capable of tapping into its own stored fat for fuel. You have effectively repaired the broken physiological barrier. This is the power of true cellular healing. The billion-dollar diet industry relies entirely on your ignorance. They desperately need you to stay trapped in the cycle of insulin resistance, constantly buying their sugar-free, naturally sweetened products to fix a problem that those exact products created. They are selling you the poison and the fake cure in the exact same bottle. But your body is an absolute biological machine. It is designed to heal, to regenerate, and to thrive if you simply stop giving it the wrong instructions. You must stop speaking the language of disease to your cells. Every time you consume a concentrated liquid sweetener, you are telling your liver to panic. When you consume whole, unprocessed foods with their natural fiber completely intact, you are speaking the language of health, stability, and extreme longevity. This is the ultimate betrayal of the food industry. They take the absolute best parts of nature, throw them in the trash, and bottle the metabolic poison to sell it back to you as a health food. You are paying a premium price to actively destroy your liver, one healthy organic smoothie at a time. The truth is, you're not lazy. You are not lazy willpower. You are not failing your diet. Your biological system, your very DNA, has been relentlessly hijacked by a carefully engineered, heavily marketed trap. Your liver never stood a chance against this concentrated fructose assault. But right now, today, you have the exact knowledge to stop this molecular rewiring dead in its tracks. You can absolutely shut down the fat factory. You can starve the zombie fat cells. You can awaken the ultimate biological cleanup crew and hit the reset button on your entire metabolic health. All you have to do is refuse to participate in their billion-dollar illusion. Throw away the agave nectar. Pour out the organic diet syrups. Stop drinking fruit juices that have been stripped of their protective physiological barriers. Return to the source. Eat the whole fruit. Let the fiber do its job. Let your liver breathe, heal, and regenerate. Ask yourself this critical question right now. Are you going to continue letting this ruthless industry manipulate your biochemistry, or are you going to take back control of your metabolic health today? The power to reverse this damage is literally in your hands. If this biological breakdown opened your eyes, if it finally explained why your diet was destroying you from the inside out, hit that subscribe button. Welcome to BioLogic. Here we do not care about industry lies. We only care about the absolute, unfiltered scientific truth of your human body. Give this video a like so we can push this vital information past the algorithm and save more livers from this invisible toxin, but do not look away just yet, because this is the absolute craziest part. If you think diet sugar is a metabolic nightmare, you are not prepared for what is coming next. Next week, I am going to expose a widely consumed, heavily promoted vegetable oil that is actively, silently freezing your neural barriers. It is a neurotoxin disguised as a heart-healthy kitchen staple, and it is driving a massive epidemic of cognitive decline. You probably have a bottle of it sitting in your pantry right now. Turn on that notification bell because that video is going to shatter everything you thought you knew about cooking healthy meals. I will see you in the next video.